So we have our first storyteller up, and we always put our first storytellers first. We have a new storyteller tonight who has never shared a story here, although she's been all around the block. She's just returning from New York City with a one-person show. Please give it up for Theresa Pushkar.
Hi. So I'm a Voicebox virgin. Here we go. We got bookmarks. Theresa from the top, and then Terry at the end, who's obviously very experienced. So I took my lead from that wonderful song that Kathy just sang. Beautiful, beautiful. Nothing so sweet as sugar. There you are sitting in the garden, clutching your coffee, calling me sugar. You called me sugar. She said that with such oomph. Did somebody say sugar? Ah, that dangerous, delectable, dubious friend, always there when you need her, right? An early morning sweet roll with a strong cup of tea, a 3 p.m. melt-in-your-mouth piece of chocolate to take away that midday mayhem, and then that late nice piece of pie that I lie awake alone anticipating sweet, perhaps too sweet slumber. So where did my passion for sugar and baked goods all begin? Childhood confections. Perhaps in utero. Anybody here a bit addicted to sugar? Yeah. Kindred spirit, absolutely. So I remember during my childhood, best ever, my mom's home-baked apple pie. We had this sour apple tree at the back corner of the yard. Oh, and to this day, she's 80 years old, she still makes it for all the big family events. Piles on the cinnamon. The last day I watched her sing, I gotta figure out the recipe. She won't be here forever. Like, seriously, all that cinnamon? Oh my God, it was so good. Melt in your mouth. Then I have this other sister, Carolyn, does this amazing whipped shortbread. Phenomenal. Laura, baked Alaska. It will be on my list as far as the best. Some of you might ask, what is baked Alaska? No, it's not that state way up there being baked. It's actually ice cream, and she has layers of raspberry syrup in a pie shell, and then this big gob of meringue on top, and you put it in the oven. You actually bake ice cream in the oven, which is probably why not a lot of people know what it is. I mean, it takes a heck of a lot of talent to prepare it. So those are my childhood memories of darling sugar. And then I started to try and bake myself. But I got to myself into some culinary quagmires, I'll have to say. 2 biggies, broiling a cake. First cake I did, I broiled it. And I started smelling, it's kind of done. I thought, that seems awfully fast. It's done. What the heck? And I took it out, and the top was like black, and right and underneath it was still raw. Like, what the heck? Broiled a cake. Second one, though, mistaking baking powder for baking soda, back and forth. Anybody ever? You're laughing, so you've done that? Except this was during a fire. So here's the thing. Mom leaves me home alone. I'm in high school. She says, turn down the stove. In 45 minutes, I've got chicken bones that are just cooking up for soup. I'm in the basement 20 minutes. I have no sense of smell. But I start getting this really bad headache, and I head upstairs to get aspirin, and the freaking stove is on fire, like on fire. We have this rubber mat in the middle, gray, thick fire. I'm going, okay, what do I get? Okay, yeah, baking powder. Didn't work. I called the fire department. Excuse me, 911, could you tell me how to put out a small kitchen fire? Get out of there, what's your address? We're coming along. And then I got off the phone, went, no, baking soda, girl, baking soda. So I sprinkled that baking soda, got the fire out. I race outside, and just in time to hear the there's my mom pulling up in the van, back from her shopping trip. I race out to the van. Mom, you hear that siren? It's coming here. So I race out to the fire then, and I'm like, they got their stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't have to. I took care of the fire. We're good. You can go. They said, now we got to check it out. And turned out, because of the rubber, lots of smoke, they had to blow their fans. But I was the big laughing stock of the neighborhood. Honey, we'll take you to the fire department, teach you how to cook at the department sometime. And I had visions of the Toronto Star, front page, young teen burns down family home, all because she'd mistaken baking powder for baking sugar, baking flour, baking soda. See, I can't even get it right. Sugar's already getting to my head. Sugar goes even into my relationships. I look at my friends, I still remember the sugar stuff. Antoinette Grech, my first friend, she was Maltese. And her mom used to make these pancakes. Forget about the syrup, sugar and butter. To this day, still sugar and butter the best. Then there's Angela Klimaszek. She was my middle school best friend, and she was from Austria. And her mom made the best kuchen and all these cakes and pies. And we'd be out playing hide and seek, and she'd have all these cakes. And let me tell you, first of all, when I was a kid, we were very restrained. We were not allowed to have sugar. Well, and also, let's, of course, be real. You know why I married a South Side Chicago man. Portillo's chocolate cake. Need I say more? And then, even into my business world, nothing but business. I mean, I would live and breathe sweets. Equity Lifestyle Properties is Sam Zell's company. I was a trainer, and I would go to resorts all over the country. Every resort town's got a lot of bakeries, right? We know that. So I sought them out. It got so bad, I'm not exaggerating. They changed the company's meal expense policy. My boss was a little ticked off when she saw all these little bakery slips. So after a couple years of this, they changed the policy to you had to buy a full meal somewhere before they would give you your expense back, like seriously. Trouble, addiction. Nightingale Conan, I worked there as a producer and a writer, and all of our holiday teas, where we'd go to tea houses all over the Chicagoland area. I don't know about you, the rest of you, but for me, it's like dessert is not dessert without that cup of tea. Usually Earl Grey with it, kind of cuts that sweet, sugary taste. Nothing better. And then Canadian chocolate. So whenever I go home to Canada, I love America, but our chocolate in Canada is just a little bit better, a little creamier. But I get all my friends and my coworkers hooked on the Canadian chocolate. I go home for Easter or Christmas, and I come back with bags full of chocolate, get them all addicted. I'm not alone. And I'm so desperately in love with sweets, I've actually incorporated into my latest career. So last year, I was substitute teaching at the high schools, and I noted all of these students, the anxieties they're suffering with, real stress. So I started what I call the Sweet Success Series. And I would bribe them to come and meet with me for lunches and do meditation and calming techniques, and I bring in homemade sweets and goods. It worked. It worked. Of course, my daughter did take her friends in there, but it was awesome. Yes, that is my life. And then most recently, as Maureen said, I just got back from New York City. So I was performing there, a one-woman show, really excited on 42nd Street. Yay! But, you never, thank you. That one person, I'll pay you later. But you never know what's going to happen in New York. So we arrive, first day. What do I say to my husband, who's my wonderful taxi driver, my daughter? We are going to Jersey. We're going to Carlos Bakery. Anybody know the Cake Boss? Yeah. Right? I got there. Now, they said when they were there last, it was like over 2 hour line up all the way around the block. I got there. Nobody was there. It was just me. So I ordered a millefeuille and his famous lobster tail baked stuff, and I went, this is it, man. Doesn't matter about the show. Doesn't matter about anything. I got my sugar. It's all good. Yes, yes, yes. Then, of course, there's dying for desserts. So getting back to that wonderful lyrics. You're sitting in the garden, clutching your coffee, calling me sugar. You called me sugar. Probably because that's mostly what I'm made of at this point in my life. And I've experienced so many riches. I'm left with seeking out the inner gold now, right? The maraschino cherry that exists at the center of my deep, dark chocolate being. You see, once I was warned by a channel. I used to be a producer, Nightingale Conan, and I used to interview channels. This one was really good. And what she said to me is, honey, sugar is not good for you. I said, really? Then why the heck do I crave it so much? And she said, you don't believe in your own sweetness. Ouch. So I found it all out there. I just got to find it in here. They talk headache, diabetes, cancer-inducing, la, 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 la with sugar. What can I say? All I know is it really makes my day. And also, as I said, it makes life much easier for my loved ones. They know what I'm like when I don't get my sugar fix. But when all is said and done, and I have lived my life to the fullest, and I'm focusing on that one last meal, I see myself in bliss, celebrating afternoon tea with really good friends and family, those warm scones with way too much melted butter on them, lemon curd, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of French pastries. Forget about the cucumber sandwiches. I don't need the greens and the protein and all that. Not if it's my last meal, right? Who cares? That's what I would be doing. It would be so awesome. I'd be experiencing my latest and greatest sugar high, tasting one last time that glitter in the sky sugar. But I'm not planning on going anytime soon. There's way too much sweetness to continue in life. And my life is sweet, and I am grateful for it, sugar and all. I came to the realization a couple decades ago that anything that followed was like icing on the cake. And frankly, that gooey, delicious buttercream experience weighs real heavy in the dense cake of my 50 years of age. But bottom line, you could never have too much icing, can you?